Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to Transfers Live. I'm here with my old mocker, Uncle Webby. How you doing?
Good, mate, good.
It's good to be back together, isn't it?
It has, yeah. You know, enjoyed our time together over the years, mate. I've had a few rants, as you know. have we got older and poorer as a team. But it's always, if I'm in town, it's always great to see you, Steve, Joe, and all the boys, and Jay Motty's having it large today, isn't he? I've seen him eating a big roast before. Made me quite hungry. Yeah,
Jay's not here today, but we are here with Webby to discuss all the latest transfer news surrounding Manchester United. We're talking Declan Rice, Harry Kane, all sorts, Tahith Chong, Mason Mount, not Tahith Chong, sorry, Hannibal Mejbri, and of course Donny van der Beek today as well. We've got your comments as well, so keep your comments coming through, your super chats as well. And do us a favour, go and subscribe to Webby and O'Neill's channel as well. Webby has his own YouTube channel, which you can go and check out, and all his socials too. First up, though, we're going to speak about Declan Rice, because Declan Rice has been linked with a whole host of different clubs now. Now, before we get into the rumours, what do you think of Declan Rice? Is he someone that you look at and think, United should sign him? Do you fancy him? Do you not?
Yeah. I think
you fancy him?
Yeah, I think he's mint. I think he's a great player. I wasn't really keen on him, but I've watched him a lot this year, you know, in the European Conference League. I watched him against us a couple of times. I've watched him, I think, for England when there's been nothing on telly, or neighbour didn't want me to clean his car. No, I think he'd be a great addition to the squad. Would have give 100 million? No. But that's today's ways we're pulling. Obviously now we've heard that City's come in for him. That's the last team we want him to go to. You know, I've heard he wants to stay in London. So Arsenal's a thing, but Arsenal are messing around, and West Ham will say, you know the owners, you offer 75, so we're going to offer you 90 and probably give you all the readies up front. They're going to take it, and let's have it right. City, it hurts me saying it, but City are the pulling power now. They've just won the treble, unfortunately. That broke me heart. But they are pulling, and if they get him, you know, I look at that thing, we know we're going to come on to Mason Mount. Do we need him? I don't think we do. And then City's going to buy Coventry, who's a mint player. For 30, how much do you want? 30 million, we'll have him. You don't play for Real Madrid if you're a mug, do you?
It's true.
And he's at 29, Adam, he's got, but what does that mean? Now if you look after yourself, look at Giggs there, to lose 40. Look after yourself, and he's a great player, and I couldn't believe sometimes when we played against Chelsea, he wasn't playing. Mint player.
Yeah, I like Kovacic. I think Kovacic is good. I think Mount's good as well. We'll talk about Mount in a bit, get your opinion on him. Sky in Italy at the moment are reporting City are prepared to pay 75 million plus the 15 million in bonuses payable across 2 years. Now, Arsenal had a similar bid rejected, but theirs was like 19 million up front, spread out over 5 years, and it was immediately rejected by West Ham. It seems like Arsenal have tried to steal the march because City's move was kind of dependent on Gundogan going to
That's a right
Barcelona,
blow, by the way. That's a right blow for them.
You think?
Yeah, top
the
blow.
Captain, wasn't he, for the treble as well? And
do you know what? I never really looked at him there, but I watched that final there and couldn't get near him, could we? You know, in Barcelona, you know what I mean? I know they're not the team they was, but let's have it right. Living in Manchester and living in Barcelona, and they offered him the extra year, and it's a big blow because you could see their manager wanted to keep him, but tough cookie, he moves on now. And
I think as well with City, they're losing a few of those players, you know, because they've won the European Cup now, and it's kind of the end of that, maybe that cycle. Could be the start of the season, could be a few teething issues for them. Hopefully.
Hope the manager goes as well. Hope the lot go.
That's who we need to leave ASAP, really. So Arsenal's latest bid of 90 million was rejected because that was spread over 5 years. United have an interest in Declan Rice, but obviously we need to sell players. We need to know what's going on with the ownership. The Telegraph yesterday reported that Man United are considering a player plus cash offer for Rice, with Maguire or McTominay potentially going the other way. Do you really think that's realistic?
Not really.
It's not, is it?
I'm not being funny. I've been impressed with Scott recently in the Scotland. You know, he's been notching the goals by playing. Because 1 minute you see Scott playing centre half for Scotland, and now he's just behind the forward. Yeah. He's done very well. I'd like him as a squad player. I wouldn't like him to start every week. The thing with Maguire, I just don't think he's suited for United. You know, when we went to sign him, I was of those Reds who thought, hey, I'll have him in my team. I want him. Do anything you can. We had our pants pulled down, but fair play to Leicester. You know, they got what they wanted, and they bought a replacement for something like 2 or 3 million. Yeah. So can you see where if West Ham really want to start making noises, then they don't get them to. They want the Reddish to buy what David Moyes wants. But what would you say, Adam? Would it be Maguire, McTominay, and what amount of money? Are you saying?
It's like 30 million
as well.
40 million. I don't know. The thing is, these things very rarely go down, don't they? You know, those swaps because clubs want to show the full transfer fee on their books. Yeah. So I don't think we're in for Declan Rice seriously. No. I think he'll end up at City, but we could benefit from his sale in that we'll probably get 30 million for one of those players off West Ham. You know, I think that. Who would you
like to see go out one of them two? Would it be Maguire? Both. Yeah.
I don't think Maguire's. Who would rather stay out of them? If I had to pick one, would be McTominay.
Yeah.
But I think get rid of both. I don't think either are good enough for Manchester United. Maguire's going to be on the bench. Like he doesn't want to be on the bench. McTominay as a squad player.
Would you keep McTominay if Fred goes to Palace, which there's a talk of
we need to sign
not Palace, Fulham apparently, isn't there? There's talk of him got to Fulham.
I'd rather keep Fred than McTominay, to be fair.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, no, you look at Fred in the derby at Old Trafford, he kept De Bruyne quiet. It was a big thing for winning that game. But we need a centre forward, Adam. And you know myself, I'm a big lover of Anthony Martial. But Christ, he must be made of glass.
Yeah, he's made.
You know what I mean? He's like an oil rigger, in 1 out 4. You know what I mean? In grafted for the day, off for 4 days, but on his day. But he doesn't have too many days, and I'm a big fan of him. How long he's been there now? 7-8 years. Yeah. Should be pulling trees up. You know, we went through that season in lockdown where he couldn't stop scoring, could he? Hat-tricks and braces and playing well. But he's got to go. But who's going to have him?
The injuries haven't helped, and you need to be consistent as well. If you're going to be,
it didn't surprise me, Adam, when found out he was injured for the cup final. It did not surprise me.
I don't think it surprised anyone. I think that probably would have been if Ten Hag hadn't already gone. Oh, for fuck's sake, that would have been already gone. Oh, okay, now like as much as I want to try and. You need to be.
I'm going to be a bit. Well, I'm not going to be controversial, but it's all the signs are saying to me that Mason Greenwood's coming back. That's what I think. That's what I've heard. He might be going on loan, but where do you send him on loan? Because he's going to get dogs abused.
Sending him on loan.
He's not going to help, is it?
With it.
No.
You have to deal with it.
He's pushing him away to see what the reaction is. Yeah. You don't want to send him to Italy. You don't want to send him to Spain.
If United want to keep him,
they play him now.
You have to keep you can't send him on loan and then bring him back.
No.
You either
that's
take
just hiding the thing, innit, Adam?
I don't think it's so hard though. It's United are in.
It's an hard one. If you're the sponsor, Adam, do you want him running out with your kits on?
You've got that issue.
Yeah.
You've got sponsors issues. You've got obviously fans. Fans that whether you're male or female will be saying that they don't want to see him playing for Manchester United. Then you've also got there's the ruthless business aspect of it, which I think they'll look at, which is. He is a 50 to 100 million pound
all day long
asset.
All day long, Adam.
And if Man United let him go, someone's going to take him.
Yeah, someone else get a bit.
And that's probably why they want to loan him out. Because if you loan him out and he does well at Juventus, maybe you can sell him to them.
Yeah.
If you sell him
do you see him playing in United shirt again, hand on heart?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, same here. You know, we've all seen the tapes. We've all heard what's happened. He's not guilty, or for some reason it's not happened. But I think they was there to build a team around him. He's that good of a player. Probably the best natural finisher I've seen in the Premier League since.
But how much?
Robbie Fowler, natural finisher.
He was the best youngster I'd seen since Wayne Rooney in United. Yeah. Which says it all. But I think it's too much headache now. Yeah. I don't think
it's like that, Adam. I look at it now, mate.
And has it been too long? He's been out of the game
too long. The player who's injured and he comes back, but then you forget about that player for months. You know,
and you know how will teammates want to work with him?
Could have lost it.
Will teammates want to play with him?
I think they will do. I think they all unfollowed him, didn't they? And all followed him back on. But that's what we heard on social media. I just think that if he gets a chance at United again, this is the last chance saloon. End of. I slaughtered Southgate for not picking him in the squad, and I found
he was right in the end.
Hey, he was right. You know, the next squad, the man Foden comes back and he keeps him away, and he was playing well for us, Adam. And he said he's not right in fucking head here, this kid. I've heard rumours at United But rumours are rumours anyway. Let's see
it's,
what
I don't
happens,
know.
mate.
It's a horrible situation to be in.
For the great talent. That's the way. If it's an average talent, Adam, I'd say, should I?
But that's what makes this situation worse.
Yeah.
Because your talent shouldn't determine whether you come back or not.
Yeah.
But moving on.
We could talk about it all day. We probably will do soon.
And it's such a like eggshells kind of because there's a victim there.
Of course, yeah.
But then the victim is reportedly to be still with him, and it's so it's just it's just
well,
a
let's
mess.
forget about that.
Harry Kane has apparently been told to hand in a transfer request. The Express say Man United are reportedly ready to launch one final push to sign Tottenham striker Harry Kane after recently deciding to cool their interest. You keep hearing all sorts of different things with it. United have gone for him, pulled out because it doesn't look like a deal is going to happen.
Yeah.
You've also heard a side of things where Harry Kane was open to a move, but then United weren't serious enough about it, so he's decided to not really push.
Yeah.
Like, is Harry Kane going to be a Spurs player in the summer, at the end of the summer?
I don't see it, mate. I don't think. Well, we know how Daniel Levy works. He's hard graft, isn't he? You look at the Berbatov deal, try to get an extra few quid out and try to sell him to City at the last minute. No disrespect to Harry Kane. I think he's a great player. His goals prove that, Adam. Whether it's for England or Tottenham, but if Real Madrid come knocking on your door, mate, you go, don't you? That number 9 shirt's open, in it now. Benzema's gone. And he's been loyal to Tottenham. I know he was looking to push a move the other year.
Is it loyalty or stupidity?
A bit of both, mate, isn't it? You know, he's not going to... No disrespect to Tottenham. I've always had a soft spot for Tottenham for some reason. I don't know why.
It's because they've never been a threat. And they've always had... They've always had players that you kind of like.
Yeah, true.
You know, like like for me, it would have been you would have seen the players. Like, who's it that won the FA Cup?
Falcao, Ardiles, Gary Mabbott.
Yeah.
Ray Clemens. It was that team who, like you're saying, you had 2 or 3 players who you think, I won't mind them at United. Yeah. And I just don't think that he could stay a one club man. But what's he got to show for it? You know, you want medals at the end of the day, don't you? He got a nice house, a nice lifestyle, fair play.
He's got that already, though, innit? Like nice house, nice lifestyle, nice
so he'll
bank
go.
balance.
I just think that the amount of trash that Daniel Levy got thrown last year, wanting him out, and he kept him going on him in the crowd, didn't him and his wife, and she's nudging him like, let's go. If he sold him to an English club, I think that'll be the end of him. Sells him to Real Madrid, he doesn't really hurt him, does he? And he get a few quid.
They'd take less money as well, wouldn't they?
Yeah, of course.
Because remember when they did it with Modric?
Yeah, they'll take less money, mate.
He was about to go Chelsea and then that, and they took less from...
You never know with Daniel Levy, he likes the Reddies. You know, so he could bid... What happens if Chelsea come in or City with 150 million?
They ain't taking less than like 100 million.
No. And is he worth that?
United, he is.
He is. But I like the kid at Napoli, but... You're going to talk 100 million plus. I didn't realise how much they paid for that kid. Did they pay 75 million from Lille or someone? The kid who's at Napoli, Otter. The centre forward.
Osimhen.
Yeah. They paid 70 odd million for him. So they just won the Italian league. So they're going to want 120 plus if he wants to go. You know, I think he's a great player.
I'd rather splash 100 on Kane than 120, 30.
Listen, if there's any of that Glazer's money, splashed a lot for me. But there you go.
We need them to go as well. We're talking about all these different things, and it's like, I think if Harry Kane does want to leave, he has to get serious about it though, because
he's got to do.
I think he's part of the blame for why he hasn't won trophies. Like, whether it's you blame him for staying at Spurs, all right, you should have won something there. You've had a few finals to make a difference in, and if you blame him for still being at Spurs, bro, you should have left ages ago. Yeah. Like, there's so many players that would have been in his position that would have made that move happen.
Yeah.
So, and they wouldn't have had his brother being his agent.
Is that what?
Go get a proper agent.
Is that his agent? His brother?
Yeah, Charlie Kane.
Well, there you go. He must be on big dough at Tottenham. But fair play. If he wants to stay at Tottenham, one-man club and win nothing, that's his decision. But let's have it right. What is he, 29 now? Go to Real Madrid if you're not going to come to United or anywhere. Go to Real Madrid. Real Madrid, aren't they? You know, so...
A La Liga and a Champions League in your bag's better than record goal scorer, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Well, he's smashing all records now, so let him go over there. I think he will go, mate. I think he will go to Madrid.
Well, is being the greatest goal scorer in, like, I say English football, because, like, let's say he had the Premier League record and the international record for England. Is that better than a trophy?
No. No. You want your trophies, don't you? You want to get up one morning and say to your kids, Premier League winner there, European Cup winner. You know, not.
What's all these plastic goal boots doing around the house?
I've scored so many goals, which is nice. Don't get me wrong. I think if he stays at Tottenham or United, he will beat Shearer's record all day long. Been a great centre forward for Tottenham. I know he got a bit of thing when he said he wanted to leave, but Tottenham missed the boat there, mate, when City wanted him and they wouldn't sell him. So he's lost 60 million, 50, 60 million off his price tag. Daniel Levy will be pulling his hair out. You know, he loves his Bugs Bunny, you know what I mean? So let's see what happens. But if Daniel Levy wants to keep the faith of the Tottenham fans, he sells him abroad.
Mason Mount has been linked with a move to Manchester United. Fiercely linked. Looks like it could be our first transfer of the summer. We've had 2 bids rejected already. The last bid was for 45 million plus 50 million, according to David Ornstein. Apparently, Chelsea want around 60 million pounds, and Man United might be able to get a deal done for around 50 to 55 million, including add-ons. I'm totally for this move, you know, for Mason Mount. What do you think? Do you want him? Do you not want him? Because it splits opinion. This one.
I like the kid.
Yeah,
he's a baller. You know what I mean? But is that what we need? We all know what we need, Adam. We need a centre forward. That's our main plan. We need it. We proved it last year, you know. But that's telling me what we're just going about the green one. I think he'll make us a better team. I think he's a good player. But who suffers from him? Who goes out of the team? Does Eriksen go out of the team? I think legs they were going a bit towards the end of the season. Bruno.
If your bench has Eriksen on it, and you know, like if your bench has then become a little bit better.
I remember seeing a bench the other year, and I made a comment on Twitter. The bench was absolutely mint. We had Cavani and top players like that, and that's how it should be. But don't get me wrong, I want to try and see some of the kids coming through. You know, I said last night about the cup final and how Garnacho's got to be a starter next year. You know, because he brought us back into that game. Good. But do I want to play him every game in that young age and burn him out? I look at Alanga, who I felt sorry for, because Alanga wouldn't have played all those games if the Greenwood thing would have happened. You would have seen him for the game, out for 4, but he was playing every game. And then when he did come in, he come into a weakened team. You know, and I always remember, I always tell the story of Jason Park, mint player, loved the G.
3 lungs.
But when he finished the end of his United career, it was always in a lesser team. Yeah. It was never with. But you look at the big games, he was the first on the team sheet. But towards the end, he went in lesser teams, and it affected him. One of the best people going about Cantona, rightly so, and Schmeichel and Irwin. But Christ, Jason Park with some signing.
We signed him for what, 4 million?
4 million.
4 million. When we signed him, he was nominated for like UEFA Forward of the Year at PSV in the Champions League, because they had that deep run in the Champions League.
4 million.
South Korea at the World Cup. He was phenomenal.
But let's see what happens if we get him. Obviously, we've got to realise that Chelsea try to, you look at Chelsea now, they're selling players left, right, and centre, and they've got to do. But don't let them pull our pants on. But that's what we're good at. We're good at letting teams pull our pants down, mate.
I think Mount's worth about 45 million with a year left. So if we pay 55 million, as long as, like you say, we can get the striker and we can get, our goalkeeper and whatever, I think Mason Mount's a really good sign. Like you, I think he's a great footballer, playing a couple of positions. He's going to improve under Ten Hag. He's only 24, Champions League winner. I think he's a very good signing. What
do you think about the goalie situation? It's a bit of a mess, isn't it?
We need one, don't we?
We need one.
It's a mess, but I think they're making the right decision.
Yeah.
De Gea can't get a new deal. But then we never got to say goodbye to him.
Yeah.
Which is a bit sad.
Which should be sad, but obviously I've heard he wants more money.
Our last memory of him is him letting it bounce past him in the cup final.
Yeah.
That's a bit sad.
Yeah, we'd like to say. He's been played a year, hasn't he? 5 or 6 times. Well, he's been at the
3
club.
or 4 times, isn't it?
And a bounce. Yeah, I wouldn't like it to go like that. I wouldn't like him to come back and play against us. I don't know. I'd like to say goodbye, because when he come like a skeleton. You remember that?
He can still come back and
remember that first game, don't you, against City?
Skinny like me, yeah.
In the Charity Shield, where he let that one go for about 100 yards.
We won the game, but
and then he made the
2-1 down early.
He made the mistake at West Brom, didn't he, in his first league game? And we won that
Rio,
game.
I remember Rio.
And then you seen him one pre-season. He come back and he'd bolts up, and I remember that happened to Lee Sharp. I remember watching Lee Sharp at Rotherham come on like a stick insect. Didn't see him again for the rest of the season. Come back pre-season, Matt. Who's that? Putting a load of beef. He looked big, and we reaped the benefits of that. So I'd be gutted to see him go, but I think it's the right time to get a new keeper now.
Hopefully he can come back for a little testimonial as well. It's been over 10 years.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the Inter Milan keeper, Andrea Onana?
Mint.
You want him?
Mint, yeah, mint.
I don't think we're ready to see a goalkeeper doing all that. We're going to be panicking, you know.
Have an heart attack when De Gea kicks the ball out and he's looking for the fullback.
We're going to be going, I wish De Gea was there. Who's in the ball out for throwing?
But he's good in there. I remember him for Ajax, you know, in obviously the final of the Europa League. Looks commanding, takes a risk.
Knows Lissandro.
Yeah, knows Lissandro. Could give me about 8 heart attacks in case, Dan. But something we've got to do. It's moved on now, the game. I know Neuer was the first footballing one, and Ederson now at City plays it, and he's been caught. But you get caught a few times. It's a risk you take, but he's also a very good goalkeeper. And I think if we can get him, if we've got the money, let's go out and get him, because I think the pulling will be Ten Hag and, like you say, Martinez playing with him, and you know, so let's see if it happens, because that Italian football, there's not a lot of dough in that anymore. So let's see what we can do, but he needs sorting early doors. Talking
about Italian football, Van der Beek's been linked with a move to Serie A with Roma. Gianluca Di Marzio was talking about him, and he says he's been offered on loan to Roma, which would see him hook up with Mourinho, although it's not a priority for them at the moment. This stinks like one of them that will happen later in the window, innit? I can see Donny van der Beek going on tour with United and then moving later on in the window. I felt sorry for him, but then when he obviously got that bad injury, which he didn't, and I'm thinking, do you know, when Ten Hag come, this will be the make for him, because it's his old manager. He knows how he's play. He went through that thing in the Champions League when he got to the semi-final. This will be the start for him. But even before he got injured, he couldn't get in the team, could he? You know, and I'm a big fan of him, but is he not suited for the Premiership? Will Italy be a lot slower for him? I don't know, mate. I just think that he's had awful bad luck. You know, he went to Everton. My mate said the first game he played for Everton was mint. Couldn't believe what United had done by letting him go to them, and then after that it was Bobbins. So there you go. So maybe all the best round that we get him out of the club, not on loan. See if we can get, what did we pay for him? 40. You know what happened? Remember when we tried to bid for Grealish?
Yeah.
And we only had 45 million, and we bid that, and they said we want 80 or 60 or something.
Well, that's when he had that friendly at Villa Park, didn't they?
Yeah.
They had that friendly to tie the deal up, and then didn't we buy Van der Beek a couple of days before?
I think Van der Beek was a reaction to not getting.
Well, we bought someone and spent a load of dough. I can't remember who it was, and then obviously we've got in played it
because he was supposed to go to Madrid, wasn't he?
No one could get on that friendly while we was playing him. But apparently it was, and then obviously we didn't have any Bugs Bunny. And he went to City, and they're reaping the benefits of it now, unfortunately.
And you know what? He's the only player there with a bit of personality.
Yeah.
A bit of he's the only player that makes me jealous of them. Because I like Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
Bastard.
Had a good drink, didn't he?
Yeah.
Good lad. Good lad.
Yeah, I find a bit of the reaction to that a bit mad.
He's just a lad. He's lived a dream, and he's won a treble. Yeah. You know, you can imagine some United boys being like that in '99.
They would have been like that. It's just that we never had, like, I was at the parade, but we never had cameras on the bus with the players recording every move that they did. Yeah. And like, we had the thing inside the ground, didn't we?
The arena.
Albert Hall.
No, the arena won it.
Yeah, the arena as well.
I was still stuck in Barcelona, mate.
So I went. We drove back up. And then I just went straight to the parade in town. Like, I didn't go to the stadium or anything like that. But I'm sure they had something.
Yeah, I was stuck in Barcelona. We got home at 10 o'clock. I remember getting back into Manchester, and every pub was shut. They had no beer left. But I've got the memories, Adam. I went to every round that year. The prelim in Poland, and Brøndby, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Juventus.
Can you remember who we had in the qualifier?
Yes. Oh, it was...
Polish team.
We beat them 2-0 at Old Trafford.
And 0-0
over there. The worst game of football I've been through in my life. We actually walked on the pitch, and we're playing on the pitch 15 minutes before kick-off, and the name seats my head.
LKS Lodge.
Lodge, yeah. And it was mad because there was a load of Polish Reds there from another club, because the match was played on like a school ground. It was mad. We just walked in, and then was on the pitch, and Gary Newbon come on, and he knew me from United. He went, You're undercover, Webby, so just testing the ground. And then you can, if you watch, anyone who's got the match on video, which they probably haven't, because videos don't exist, it's the worst football match, you can see me behind the net waving in the first half. Worst game of football ever.
Got a great picture from, it's either from that year or from 96, 97 with Zidane.
Zidane, yeah.
In the tunnel.
We both had hair.
From 96?
Yeah, we both had hair. He had hair and I'd look.
It's such a good picture that way.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, what were you then? Player security?
Yeah, I was, yeah. I was in charge of it. Well, I was in the tunnel for about 5 years. If you see any MUTV games from, say, 94 to 99, you'll see my ugly face popping at the bottom of the tunnel.
The best years as well.
Oh, Adam.
The best. That 94 team, I have this conversation. It's my favourite team, you know. Because I grew up, like, I was 5. And the 94 Cup final is the first one I can remember 4-0 Chelsea in the pissing rain.
Yeah.
And
I'll
they
tell
just
you a
all
story
look
about
like
that in a minute.
Superheroes to me. Go on.
I'll tell you a story about that. I had a bet. Dennis Irwin first goal, United to win 3-0. And when McClare put it in, I stood up in the United and laughed. They all thought I was a Chelsea fan. He could have a new load of ads round me. I stood up, I had like 50 quid on it at 3-0 Irwin. I got some ridiculous price, something like 80 to 1 or something. It was mad. For it, I thought, man, when McClare scored in injury time, I wanted to kill him. And I've told him that to his face. He's like, you got enough money, you don't need any more.
Quid then. There's one last story we'll briefly cover. Dortmund have shown an interest in Hannibal Mejbri, who we signed from Monaco for around 10 million. And he's being linked with a move for around 15 million euros, which is bizarre. What would you do with Hannibal? Send him on another loan, sell him, keep him?
Surely now they know if he's good enough. You know, you said obviously you've seen and heard he did quite well at Birmingham last year.
But Birmingham and United,
yeah. But obviously, I said before we come on here, we're great in letting players go on the cheap. We spoke about Diego Forlan. Joe spoke about Ruud van Nistelrooy. We spoke about
forget Beckham.
We spoke about
Ronaldo was cheap.
Ronaldo was cheap. So we're always good at paying over the odds. But when it comes to selling, it's like you're the man, director or whatever, chairman of a club. How much is him? Yeah, you can have him. The peanuts. We've got to be a bit harder like these other clubs I do. We get our pants
at least pretend to want someone. Pretend to not want to sell him.
We sell, you can have him. We go and buy a player, they put money in and we do it. So they must know now, Ten Hag must be seeing him, taking videos of him, is he good enough? Will we send him another loan? I look at Iqbal, I was a bit upset with that one, mate, to be honest. You know, £1 million, what can you get for £1 million now? We could get Eric 30 odd years ago for £1 million, but you can't even get an half decent anything now.
You can't sign it. We'll probably pay more than that for the 2 Fletcher lads from City. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I just think we need to get these clowns out of running the things and get some proper football.
And that's
people
one of the things that I think might be hampering us. You know, teams might just be delaying until the new owners come in,
and then try and pull our pants down even more. And we'll probably pay it, but let's see what he's like.
Because Daniel Levy's probably thinking, if them Qataris come in, they're going to want to make one big statement. That'll be Harry Kane, and they'll just wait.
Yeah, let's wait until the transfer window shuts, and hopefully, I was saying to Joe before, it's 7 months now since we've been up for sale. 7 months.
Oh yeah, because we all thought it'd be done by March.
I had the jelly and ice cream ready in March, and my party hat. You know what I mean? And then this is all gone. And to be honest, once I got that email about my season ticket going up, I said to me mate, these aren't going, these will what I get this money. Why would they put it up and they're not reaping the benefits of all that extra dough? Because we know the Glazers love dough, because they've had us all that much dough off us in the past. But let's see what happens, Adam. I know the Qataris want it. I know Radcliffe wants it. Want the best deal for the club. You know, we need a new stadium. You know, I see people going, Old Trafford, oh, it's great. I thought, when you go in, week out, just shit, oh mate, it's falling to pieces.
It does need a little bit of love, but I wouldn't want a new stadium.
When you want a new one at the back,
this one.
Could we still work around it and still play? Do we want a new one at the back? We're still under Old Trafford. I wouldn't like us to move. I'd like us to stay there, but where could we play? Tottenham were lucky because they had Wembley. Where could we play?
No.
We can't go to the Etihad. It's not big enough.
Can we play at the cricket ground?
Well,
just let the season ticket holders in. It's a mad one. There's going to be a lot of changes over the club, you feel, in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of changes. A lot of people sweating on the jobs with this takeover. You know, there's people there milking it, mate. You know, I said about the story about, well, I was quite lucky with Solskjaer last month, and he told us on the day about before it come out that they offered Ireland to United for 4 million. They didn't even get back to him. And I told you the Mbappe story where they got offered him from Monaco reserves for 1.5 million. The bloke went over to see him. He will not make it. What a plant pot. And this man's still employed by Manchester United Football Club on a good £1-2 million a year. And if these people are running our transfer, mate, the people are going to laugh at us. We need a football man. I know Van der Sar's finished. Van der Sar would be the ideal man. He knows the club, he knows the Premier League, he's done a great job at Ajax. I know he wants to take a bit of a rest, but if Manchester United come knocking, the rest goes. You forget the rest, you can have a rest next summer.
Yeah.
Let's get these football people in who know the game. You know, there was talk a bit about Rio coming in. Let's get people in who know the club and who love the club and know how it's worked, and get rid of these clowns, mate, because there's that many clowns pulling a living there. No wonder they're fighting for the job. Could you
look at the Deschamps Bernard thing. We could have sold him last summer for 12 million. We let him go for free this summer, and we wonder why we're in FFP issues, because we can't sell players. And you look at Chelsea, their FFP issues have just disappeared because they've managed to sell so many players. Anyway, Webby, it's been an absolute pleasure being back with you on the channel. Thank you to you guys for watching at home. Make sure you're keeping it locked. Get your thoughts and comments in the comments below. Subscribe to Webby's channel. Follow him on all the socials as well. And we'll be back very soon. See you in a bit.